Hey, this is Dave Wood from musictrainer.com, and today we're going to talk about chords. We're going to get you into the basic introductory chords, and there's definitely a right way and definitely a wrong way to learn chords. If you've tried learning them in the past and you've had some hard times, this has been a tried and true method of learning chords, and it can be very, very fast. But there is definitely a right way and a wrong way again. So to start off, let's start off with the A minor chord. So you're going to place your first finger on the first fret on the B string. You're going to take your second finger and place it on the second fret on the D string. You're going to place your third finger right below that on the second fret on the G string. That is the A minor chord. So right there, I want you to try strumming that. One note at a time, so you can hear every single string. Now, you have 6 strings. This is called the A minor chord. Since it's called the A minor chord, you're going to be starting on the A string. You're going to leave out the low E string, okay? So starting off, you have the A string, just like that. If there's any issues that you have with the strings not ringing out, check the angle of your fingers and make sure that your fingers are coming up and over, that they're arching up and over the strings. Okay? Now, the next chord, once that feels good, once that sounds good, you're going to take this hand position and move it over one set of strings. And this is now the E chord. And you can now play all 6 strings. Again, same exact finger position. Nothing has changed. And what I want you to do is I want you to practice going back and forth in between these 2 chords. So this is E. And then see if you can take all of your fingers and move them all at once. It's going to be really hard at first. If you can't, if you're back here at the E chord, then just take your fingers off and just don't move too far away from the frets. Don't bring your hand out like this and wave and all that. Keep your hand pretty close to the fretboard and keep that same shape. It makes it really easy. Then start back with the A string and then move back to the E string, the E chord. Okay? And just go back and forth and get comfortable with that. So now we're going to talk about rhythm, okay? In most songs that you're used to listening to, it has 4 beats per measure, okay? So you would think 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So how we're going to count this, you're going to silently count in your head. You're going to play the chord and count to 4. So the first strum is going to be 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then after that count of 4, you're going to switch chords and go over to the E chord. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So those are whole notes. Whole notes meaning strumming once, letting that rest for 4 counts. Okay? Now, once you start to feel comfortable with that, to really take this to the next level and to really feel comfortable with it, you want to start using a metronome. And we have a free metronome for you that you can find online. And the one that I like to use is called metronomeonline.com. metronomeonline.com. And basically it's a free site. You can go on. If you already have a metronome, of course, you can always use that. But this one is online. You can take your laptop, take your computer, whatever you have, or even your iPhone, if you have an iPhone. And you can use the metronome to basically provide that particular beat for you and know how fast you're playing those rhythms every single time, so you can monitor your progress on it. So for today, we're going to start with the metronome at 50. So now, with the metronome at 50, we're going to do whole notes. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So you may have noticed something during that last example, that switching chords was really difficult. Well, I'm going to give you a little tip, a little secret here on how to make it happen faster for you. Play the A minor chord. Now take your hand completely off. Put your hand right back on. Completely off, right back on. Now at first it may be like this. That's fine. But the more you do this, the more that you keep activating that muscle memory, knowing exactly where your fingers are going to hit the string and be able to rest on the neck like this, the faster you're going to be able to change chords. It's not going to happen the first day. It's probably not going to happen the second day. But by the third day, if you keep doing this, give it about 3 minutes each time that you do this. Just back and forth, just like this. You'll be surprised. The more consistently you do it, the faster it's going to happen for you. It'll happen really fast. Okay, then I want you to try the same thing and switch chords. So you go to the E chord, do it there. Back to the A minor chord, do it there. Okay? If you get a sound, that's great. Otherwise, don't worry about it. It's just getting the fingers in the right place. Now, we're going to move on. We're going to do half notes. So before, a whole note equals 4 counts, a half note equals 2 counts. So for every single example, there's going to be 2 counts and 2 strums for each chord. So the A minor is going to have 2, the E is going to have 2. So this is going to be the half note example. So you're going to practice that. The next one is going to be the quarter note example. And it's going to be 1 chord hit for each beat that you hear on the metronome. So it's going to sound like this. So as you practice these, you want to try to do that as long as you can. I would say about 1 minute to 2 minutes for each one, or until your hand starts to hurt. Then, shake it out, get your hand back to normal, make it comfortable, and then come back and try it again. Because the more that you do this and the more that you do it consistently, the faster it's going to happen for you every single time you pick up the guitar. So you get to the point that you don't even have to think about it anymore. It just happens naturally for you. And that's the first chord example.